This is a podcast of Nathan, Nat and Sean.
Hey, everybody.
Hi, guys.
We're on holidays at the moment.
Oh, I'm loving it.
And
Sick.
loving it.
We've gotten a collection of some of the finest work that we've done throughout the year. Oh, guys.
And then we padded it out with some rubbish.
Don't undersell it, Nate.
Yeah.
Don't undersell it.
And this, of course, being a live broadcast. Today's best bits are all about...
The best of Wil Anderson.
Couldn't have said it better
Yeah.
myself.
Oh, my God. Right to the point you are.
Enjoy.
This is Nathan, Nat and Sean.
Question Everything is back on the ABC. This is Series 2. Sean, on the ABC.
Yeah, I'll put it in. Put it in the
on
calendar.
Channel 2, as you like to call it. The host is Wil Anderson. He joins us now. Hi, Will.
It'll always be Channel 2, Will.
Putting Channel 2 in the calendar. That's what Sean's
That's
doing.
it.
He's
I saw
getting
no
out-
from the winners, mate. That's it. Channel 2.
He gets out his calendar. He whacks a little question everything post-it note on his old school calendar. That's what I'm picturing. And he says, hey, do we get Channel 2? Can you put the wire in the back of the TV so I can turn it on to Channel 2?
Remember Filofaxes? Remember
Yeah.
when everyone had
Yeah.
a Filofax and then Stylofax came out and they were all different colours
Yes.
and people would carry them around and write their little
Yes.
plans in with the biro? Remember that?
I mean, it was amazing when your phone was actually like a Filofax, like a CD, like a CD Walkman, and just like a phone. That you had to have all that,
Yes.
and now that's all just in your phone.
Hey, you remember when the Nokia first came out, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And then you could play Snake and everyone was like, oh my
My
God,
God.
it's like having Time Zone in my pocket.
Yeah.
Whatever happened to Blackberries, speaking of those phones?
Well,
So everyone was, that was the go.
It's the manual button, isn't it, Will? It's the death of the manual button.
Yeah, I mean, this is like, it is incredible how quickly it's changed in our lifetime, though.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, I grew up in that era where, like, I mean, kids are never going to do this these days, but where you have to actually get your parents to answer the phone before they pass it over to you.
Yes.
And just
Yes.
that idea. I'm trying to bring back old school phone technique because in the old days, if you went out of the house in the morning and somebody rang you with a message, you did not find out about that until you got back again in the afternoon. And that was fine.
That's if they told you.
Yes,
Yeah, yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
You know?
If you were lucky,
Yeah.
it was written down on a piece of paper for you.
The world operated fine. We were all getting along with things. Everything was absolutely fine. You only need to get your messages once a day. I am like that with my phone now. I'll get back to you at 5 o'clock.
Yeah, and then when the mobile phone journey started, right? So we remember the first phone was the Nokia 3310, I think, that you could
Yeah.
actually change the face color of, and then the Ericsson had like just a little like bit of color that you could put on the front, and everyone's like, "Oh, we're customizing."
Yes.
Then phones got really, really small.
Yeah.
It was like the better you were, the more up to date you were, the cooler you were, the smaller the
it was.
phone.
Yeah.
And then we had the Motorola Razr,
Yes.
where phones got thin. And now we're all carrying around 65-inch plasma screens, like LCD screens in our pockets. Now phones are really big. It's unbelievable, Will.
It's such a great example of how we just get told one thing is the thing and we're like, yep, a small phone. That's what we need. Oh, no, a giant phone. Yep, we definitely need a giant phone.
So, Will, can we see any of this on Question Everything? Because this is a great thing to be able to work our way through. I know you're going to be banging on about the pandemic and whether it's over or
We
not.
are. We're going to be banging on about it. Yeah, that's what we're going to do. That's what we do, mate. We just get on and we bang on about things. That's what we like to do on our show. One we missed. Can we talk? Have you guys been banging on about Giselle and Tom Brady this morning? Are you across
yes.
Off air,
yes.
we have. We've
Yes.
been we're concerned. We're concerned,
Yeah.
but we don't feel too
I
bad
hope
for
they're
her because
both
she
individually going to be okay.
Yeah, because she makes about $1 billion more than he does.
and he does
Yeah,
it right.
Yeah, I reckon they're both going to be fine, guys.
Yeah,
I reckon
I
we can
think they're
calm down
fine.
about being concerned about how
Agreed.
they're going to be. But
I do
here's
really
what
like it when super attractive people go through misery, though. I
Yes.
do really
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that. Like,
How much misery are they in, though? This is the
don't know.
life that Tom
We never
Brady
know.
leads. Listen to this. He played football until he was 45 years old.
Yeah.
He had Jesus walked in the desert for 40 days and 40 nights. Tom Brady spent exactly 40 nights in a mansion with the world's most beautiful woman and said, nah, this is bullshit. I am sick of this. I've got to get back to work. Like, I'm not feeling sorry for that guy. They haven't seen her in 3 months. They're in the same house. He's just down the front room. She's down the back. You go, I'll see you in 3 months when I get there. It's ridiculous. Who cares? And like the other thing that I am angry.
Yeah, isn't it?
well, if they can't make it work, imagine
Yes,
you've got all the
exactly.
money. You're both as
Yeah.
hot as each other. You're both as successful as each other. And you can't make it work. How is anyone else going to stay together, Sean?
No,
Because they
that's
have
not,
to.
that's not what it is. Like we've always known that Tom Brady, unlike the good Sean in front of you, Tom Brady is not a one-team player. He's a guy who has success at a
That's
franchise,
true.
and then he moves on to a new franchise to see if he can have some more
Great
success.
point.
And there's a lot of young, ambitious models who are coming through the system who are just looking for a trade, an
Yes.
opportunity to, like, you know, and look, they've turned 25.
Yeah.
They've stopped dating Leo. They're looking for a new guy in the market.
I have to tell you, that's why at the moment, Sean checks his phone 100 times during the show because it is trade period. He's waiting to
Yes.
get traded. Hey, we are questioning everything. Earlier
Yes.
on, we saw you drinking out of a very fancy water bottle. When we're at a restaurant, are we sparkling or are we flat water?
Because that looks like a Perrier.
Because I always judge people that get flat
Look,
water. It's
San
like, have a bit of
Pellegrino to
sparkling.
me. What have you got going on there?
It's actually a Santa Vittoria.
Oh, yes.
Oh,
Okay.
Money.
Yeah, and so light on the fizz. It's somewhere in between a sparkling and
Okay.
a still.
Light on the fizz so you can slam it
Yeah.
down fast. And
So if you are out eating like Nathan was
That is there. It's in Italian, but I believe that is their slogan. Yes.
So when you're out, because I do order the flat water, Nathan.
Yeah.
Just tap
Yeah.
water
Oh,
when they
I
come.
go
So,
sparkling because
you-
it's
Just
an
tap.
occasion.
Cat.
Really?
No, that's me. That's me. What do you do?
Yeah. Yeah, you're a tap guy. I can tell. You're just a good old-fashioned tap guy. You're not-
If I have a restaurant and someone goes, I'll just have the tab order, it's like, can you afford to be here?
yeah.
Totally boring.
Oh, come on. I mean, like, the thing about Sean is he's literally gone from the world of AFL into the world of commercial radio. The idea that he would have to pay for anything, let alone water, is not something that he's comfortable with.
He's very shocked by it.
Well, you mightn't have heard this before, but the first time us three went away to Singapore together, it was my first travel experience with these two. Anyway, when we got to leave our hotel, the day we were leaving our hotel, I jumped on the bus and off we went to the airport.
Yeah.
And when we got off at the airport, I realised that no one had put my bag on the bus as I expected.
Because he goes, where's my bag? And we said, where's my bag? And we said, what do you mean, where's your bag? Did you put it on the bus? He goes, what? Did someone not put it on the bus for me?
Hang on, does Nova not have a boot stutter? What are you talking about? This is someone else's
So
job.
weird, isn't it?
And so then it was the panic of Sean not trying to get his bag back. And Sean was, and you should have seen,
Oh, freaking out
bewildered
there.
as to how
this could have
wasn't
happened.
done for him. It was so strange.
And nothing's changed, by the way.
While we're questioning everything, as you do, what do we put on those little whiteboards? Is that where your little idea goes in your office?
Oh, you're talking like I love this. It's just like you're just like profiling my space.
Yes.
Yes, this is my office. So there are whiteboards on the wall
I know,
of my
but
office.
you've rubbed out what's on them because you don't want us to know about it.
So
Why are they
what
all so
happens?
blank?
So you get a little idea and you run up to your little whiteboard with your little marker and tell me more. Go.
Well, Matt, again, is this like? I mean, I know we've talked to each other a lot, but is this the depths of where we've got to?
Yeah, it
Tell
is.
me
We
what
go a
your
lot
whiteboard
shallower.
technique is.
Yeah. Talk to me.
Okay.
So you get an
We're
idea
learning
and you
about
go,
your creative
because you got a little
process.
one, you got a big one. Go.
Yes.
Let's work out how Will works. Go.
Yeah, well, like where I'm sitting right now talking to you is where I sit when I work. And I am on a giant table here. So the rest of my desk goes this way to my right. And up here, right on my left, right here, right next to me,
Yeah.
so that you can see it,
see it.
is a couple of whiteboards. And so if I have an idea,
Yeah.
what I might do is
Yeah.
just like grab some sort of marker and then
That's a
just lean
highlighter.
right
Yes.
into the whiteboard
Yes.
and like write it.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
you mentioned we have spoken to you a lot. I've never seen you get the marker out and put
Yes.
anything on the
You
whiteboard.
never at
And
all.
the whiteboards are
Never-
both blank at the moment.
So
I've
weird.
never been asked about it.
Yeah,
Like, to be
yeah.
honest, I'm just uncomfortable with the fact that like I have too many whiteboards. It feels like I'm making a statement.
Well, I
There is
can
a
only
black-
see- I
there's a
can see
blackboard
two.
in the other room.
I was
There
gonna
literally
say.
is. It balances out.
I can
It's
only
fine.
see two, but I'm frightened there are more. Do you do a little personal brainstorm, like write a word and then a circle and then have little your little lines coming out from it?
I love how you're asking me these questions. And you're like, hey, are you a creative person involved in any sort of creative space? Or is it so weird to you that someone who literally creates stuff from their home office might have the implements in that home office to aid that creativity?
Have you also noticed how I'm trying to
That's what I
belittle your
also
process
have.
by putting the word little in front of everything? Your little marker and your little whiteboard.
You wouldn't know what else I have in my office. I have a microphone that I can talk into when I'm doing radio interviews.
No
I have a
way.
computer in front of me. Yeah, I know. Look behind here. There's a printer.
What's on top of your printer? What's that
printer?
round thing on top of your printer?
Oh, okay, here we go. This is what we're doing now. This is apparently what we're doing now.
What is
Okay.
that? It looks like a door.
Yeah, a lot of people told me that you guys had run out of ideas finally, but I'm glad to see that
It took 20 years,
It's
but
a
we got there.
doorknob.
It's a doorknob. It's a doorknob.
Now, you know what I love about
Oh,
this
it's a
is
light
that
bulb. What is
I
it?
have
Yeah.
made a little bit of fun of Nathan here this morning for looking around my office and trying to find a story, but unfortunately he has, and that's
Right on, let's hear it.
really annoying me, to be honest. This technique of just say what you see has finally actually stumbled on a bit of content for this segment, which is annoying me. But anyway, in year 11, I was involved in a public speaking and some other things competition, community service competition called the Lions Youth of the Year.
Yeah.
And so it's run by the Lions clubs. It's a national competition and they have like finals and you go through the state final. And I was the Victorian state winner of the Lions Youth of the Year and ended up going on to the national finals, which I did not win. But my friends at high school, because it's great to have friends. Firstly, I love that Nathan, the first thing he saw was a knob, but that was very on brand for you. And spotted it from miles away.
Still can't get my hands on it though. That's a problem, isn't it?
So you really sniffed it out, though. You're just like, there's something around here. I'll talk about the whiteboards for long enough. You might lean out of the way and expose that knob, so to speak. So on this, it says Knob of the Year. What my high school friends would call my Lions Youth of the Year title. They'd be like, "How are you going in your Knob of the Year competition?" They would say.
Well, I'm intrigued as to who actually was the national winner if you weren't good enough to win that year. What have they done?
I mean, look, I wish I was the sort of
It was
person
Christian
who.
Porter, wasn't it?
Well, what have they done? We'll never find
I'd
out.
love to look and see what his suckhole trophy looks like. What are they mounted on a bit of wood for that one? Wow, that went really well.
We
Good.
didn't talk at all about your show.
That's all right.
Well, we'll be watching
No, it
through a
is.
calendar.
Question everything.
Question everything.
Yes.
Question everything.
That's a good point.
It's on 8:30 tonight on the ABC or Channel 2 with Sean Lyson.
Everybody.
Run us through the guests quickly. Who have you got on tonight?
Oh, tonight, yeah, really fun show. So Alexi Toliopoulos, who is a brilliant new comedian who has an incredible series, a web series that I highly recommend people find called
This is
Finding
so good.
Jesus.
Yes,
the
it's
first
so
couple of
good.
episodes are out. And it's really good. Him and Cameron James do that.
It's the deep
and then
dive, yeah.
Claire Hooper from Good News Week.
Persone.
Yep.
I did about Claire Hooper.
Yep.
And then James O'Loughlin. What we're trying to do is bring back some people to the show who, we love in Australian comedy. Matthew Parkinson was on last
Yep.
week and
Yeah.
James
Expanding
O'Loughlin
the
this week.
generations
So,
is what you're saying.
yeah.
Yep.
yeah, I mean, it's the ABC. You got to get some people for the over 60s, you know.
And of course, I mean, don't worry about us. We're always busy. Don't ever invite us.
yeah.
Everybody, that was Knob of the Year, Wil Anderson.
Love your work, Will. Thanks, mate.
Good one, man.
The Nathan, Nat and Sean podcast.
Gruen Nation is back, everybody, on ABC and ABC iView, covering off the election campaign advertising. The host with the most is none other than Wil Anderson, who joins us now from what appears to be a ski chalet. Good morning,
Yeah,
Will.
thank you. Thank you. I am in a ski chalet. No, I think it's more like where I'm writing my manifesto. It feels like a log cabin in the woods. Like
Yeah, that's
I've gone
probably right.
Unabomber style and I'm about to just really give you some thoughts about what I think about the world. Yes, let's get the plug out of the way. 2 episodes of Gruen Nation. We decided on a short campaign, a 2-week campaign,
Thank God.
not a 6-week campaign. So just a bit of a tip to the politicians out there. You can knock it over in a fortnight.
And people like it more.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Less is more.
Yeah. So, well, let's get stuck into it. God, this election's boring, isn't it?
Hey, you know what? I've got to be honest with you.
It's a
Thank
unique
God you've
viewpoint.
said it. Because I have done a lot of interviews this morning. You're like the 14th or
14th.
15th interview I've done. And they've all been super engaged by it. have been so excited by the election, talking about the election, how well the election's going. You're the first person who's implied that it might be a bit boring.
That's
So
weird.
Just a bit of context, everyone. We had this chat just before we came on air, and we said, "What's the thing you've heard the most?" And he goes, "People keep saying, boy, this." and you've got, so how many have you done now, interviews, and how many you got to go?
yeah, so I think you're my 14th and I've got another 8 after this. Let's see if I can have 22. This is a boring election in a row. I want to do a clean sweep of the entire interview.
Well, you need to get back to us if that's the case. I'm looking at, because where you are now in your own home studio, obviously you're doing all these interviews and you do 1,000 podcasts and that. I'm looking at your whiteboards next to you.
Blank.
Not one idea on those whiteboards, Will.
Yeah, he's run dry, hasn't
Have
he?
you?
Yeah.
Well, you know where the ideas are, though.
They're in the
Sean,
show.
This is the thing.
Yeah.
Bloody here, up here. You're looking at the wrong place.
Mate.
You shouldn't be looking at the whiteboard. You should be looking at this thing that this cap is covering up, because
Hey,
that's
buddy.
where all the ideas are.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
ideas factory is open for business.
Yeah.
The ideas factory is working so hard. ScoMo and Elbow have both visited the ideas factory, got in a high-vis vest and pretended they work at the ideas factory. That is what's going on.
I do see at the moment that the Liberals have put out a campaign to counteract the Labor's campaign, where Scott Morrison keeps saying in it, "It's not my job," and they're saying, "Oh, that campaign's a lie." It's like they're all lies. Isn't that hilarious? And they just singled this one out. I don't think they're telling the truth.
But also, what I love about that, you'll absolutely adore this. So, like, it's very damaging for Scott Morrison, because you can have an attack ad, but
Yes.
the most damaging attack ads are when you can use the politician's words
Yes.
against themselves. So obviously, that one, when the one thing we want of the leader of the country is to think that everything is their job, particularly at a time of crisis. You want them to go, you know what, this isn't ordinarily my job, but you guys need me right now. I'm going to do it. And so there's 3 different versions of Scott Morrison saying, that's not my job. And I said to the meeting, I said, surely he hasn't said it 3 times. Like, they've obviously manipulated that. They've tried to make it seem like it's new. Anyway, we did some research. They had 14 different examples on the record of Scott Morrison saying that's not my job. So they chose their best 3. Now, surely, if you're an advisor to Scott Morrison, after the first couple of times he drops in, that's not my job, don't you go up to him and go, stop saying it's not your job?
Oh, yeah, this is going to be dangerous. Yeah,
That's
going
just
forward.
horrific. But one of the things that he seemed to think wasn't his job was looking after flood victims. With
Not his job.
Not his job, and with no sort of real urgency. You were a victim of those floods. How's it going?
Well, here's what I will say. Mick Fanning was there well before the Prime Minister was. I don't know if you...
With the jet ski zipping around the
jet
place.
ski. Joel Parkinson and Mick Fanning rescued people on their jet skis, which I absolutely loved. I'm voting for Mick Fanning in the election, is what I'm saying.
I mean, the guy punched a shark. He's definitely up there.
Exactly. I mean, one follows the Sharks and one punched the shark. Who are you going to choose in the election, right? But my favourite thing about that Mick Fanning thing was the next day he was actually Ubering around like vets and doctors to get to work. So, like, imagine that. You're a world champion surfer, couldn't be a more famous person in the world, and you just knew that in a time of national crisis, you know what Mick Fanning didn't say that morning? That's not my job.
Yeah. What an absolute hero.
But you're so lucky on that side of the country, because we don't really have big celebrities to help save us in an emergency over here. We don't get Chris Hemsworth rocking up or anything.
No,
like
we
that.
don't.
We'd have Pete Rosethorn.
We'd have Pete Rose on. We'd have maybe Ben Elton at a stretch. He'd come and help us out.
Yeah.
We had Kate Walsh for a while there.
Yes.
Did you hear how we had Kate Walsh
She's
over
still
here?
here. She's back.
Is Kate back?
hang on.
She's back. Kate Walsh.
Rove might be there.
Rove,
Yeah,
but Rove,
Yeah,
I mean,
that's not his job.
who's Rove going to carry to safety? It has to be a bloody kitten. That's all he'd be able to pick up.
No, Rove, firstly, the mums of Australia. Like, he's always cared about the mums of Australia.
always.
He likes to greet them. We know that.
Well, yeah, it's true. It's only say hi to them. I guess he isn't really saying that, like, anything, no more follow-up after that. But I think Rove would be out there. I'd like was Sacha Baron Cohen was over there for a while.
Well, he was too.
He's long gone, though.
Yeah.
is he?
Around the place.
When did Kate Walsh get back?
I don't know, but she posted a picture of her with a cat the other day.
Kate Walsh. Have you heard how Kate Walsh is part of our community now?
No, I haven't.
Private practices Kate Walsh.
Yeah, quick question. Do you know who Kate Walsh is?
Kate Walsh.
I mean, I was going to pretend I did.
Grey's Anatomy, Kate Walsh.
Oh, Grey's Anatomy.
Emily in Paris. Kate Walsh.
Kate Walsh.
Okay, keep naming shows I've never seen.
The Umbrella Academy, Kate Walsh.
Oh, yeah. Again,
you're right
that's
behind
good.
it,
We've got
Will,
a real
yeah.
10
striker.
Reasons Why, Kate Walsh.
Oh, yeah. Anything? Just one. Give me one.
Well, anyway, she's back. So just put that in your
She's
calendar.
amazing. Tell your friends. We love her.
Hey, Will, tell us about algorithms when it comes to advertising, because I was saying, I think I saw something on Twitter you put up that they come for you straight away.
They do. So basically in this election, you've got these big campaign messages, and that's what we're going to kind of majorly look at on tonight's episode. But then you've got micro-targeting, because what the political parties can do now is they can say, okay, here's what we know about like Sean, right?
Yeah.
We know that at the moment he's been Googling tight white T-shirts and cool hats, right? That's basically what he's wearing
so
to work
easy to
every
pick
day.
on.
Yeah, it's all Rip Curl too, by the way.
Yes.
So the political parties know this, and they go, you know what he'll be interested in? He'll be interested in outdoor stuff. He'll be interested in stuff about going to the beach or maybe going fishing or being out on the weekends. We're going to target our campaign specifically to him around things that he is interested in.
Yeah.
If you've just had a kid and you've been Googling baby clothes or childcare, suddenly you're going to get a whole bunch of messages that are specifically about childcare. And like, I guess, you know, for you, Nathan, it'd be Kate Walsh related. Here's 10 reasons why you should vote for Elbow.
They pay Kate Walsh $30 to do a cameo for me.
Oh, they send you a box set of Greys.
Hey, I've just answered my phone. Kate Walsh is on the other end.
She's
Very
amazing, mate.
keen
Don't
for me
you
to
knock
get
her
for
until you
Scott
try her.
Morrison.
She's brilliant. Kate
Oh,
Walsh.
no. I mean, obviously, I've missed the Walsh wave. She's like,
Jump on the Walsh wagon.
Hey, Will, what about
Become a Bolshevik.
you know what I will say, Nate?
We're naming the place Washington.
Hey, can I just say this, though?
Yes.
None of my other 14 interviews brought up Kate Walsh. And so this
Mate,
is...
hello. We stick
You're
out.
welcome. You're
Thank
welcome,
you so
Will.
much,
Thank you.
Jeez.
Hey, Will, what about all your podcasting these days?
Have you wound up Willosophy for good? Is that not coming back at all?
Have you seen the whiteboard?
Come on.
It's very good.
There's not an idea left, Natalie.
God. Is it over?
Someone who thought they were not on the list to come? Is that what it is?
Because Kate Walsh really wants to be on it. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I'm doing Walsh offices. No. What? It's on hiatus. I just am so busy at the moment. I've just been on a big national comedy tour, and then ScoMo called the election at a time that wasn't particularly convenient to my schedule.
Yeah.
Did not run it by me at all. Didn't think about
pretty
me
rude.
at all.
Well, that's not his job.
That's not his job.
Yeah,
You're
absolutely.
right.
Absolutely. I reckon your stand-up went well, though. I read some articles.
Oh,
Yeah, mate.
Sean.
Sean's been
Oh,
Googling
sure.
you.
Yeah, he reads
Read some
Playboy for the
articles.
articles too.
Yeah, he was Googling Hillary Duff nude photo shoot, but the link to my reviews was right under it, so it was fine.
I mean, there's a name for your next show, Willery Duff.
Yeah, it's probably not up the duff. That's all. As long as
Nathan, Nat and Sean is a Nova podcast. For more great comedy shows like this, head to novapodcasts.com.au.